The very big picture on what is being missed in the Tommy Robinson situation in England right now is that there is a media blackout on not only reporters, but everyday citizens from reporting on the Muslim grooming gang epidemic happening in England right now. That is what Tommy Robinson did. He reported on the trials of one of these grooming gangs that is going on right now in London. And if you don't know, a Muslim grooming gang is that a group of Muslim men, they're raping British children by the hundreds. In fact, there have been thousands of victims of these grooming gangs over the past 8 years. Tommy Robinson's niece, or one of his family members, but I believe it was his niece, fell victim to these grooming gangs a couple of years ago. They do this through the actual religious teachings of Islam. That is what's scaring the globalists the most. If that got out to the common citizenry, the citizenry would be enraged. Remember, this is historical fact. Muhammad married a girl of 9 years old. And the Muslims not only think that it is fine, but according to the Islamic faith, if you have any questions or confusions about what the Quran says, you're supposed to look to Muhammad's life for instruction. Muhammad married a 9-year-old girl. Of course, he also lied, stole, pillaged, murdered, and raped women. He was a despicable human being. And this is the example that this cult is supposed to emulate. A lying, thieving, murdering, pedophile, rapist. That is their prophet. The globalists want to institute Islam across the world because it is a cult and easily controlled. Anyone who simply takes 15 minutes to research Islam itself can easily see that this is not a religion, but a cult. Remember, the difference between a religion and a cult is simple. A religion gives you moral guidance in life, while a cult brainwashes you with daily demands. That is how not only a cult, but basically all brainwashing works. Constant repetition, until the subconscious finally breaks and the brainwashing sets in. Sharia law is most certainly brainwashing at its most basic form. Think about praying 5 times a day alone. That is very easily identifying basic brainwashing tactics implemented by cults all throughout history. It is done so the cult's ideology is never out of the victim's thoughts. Anyway, the real danger in England now, to the globalists anyway, is that they will not be able to control the outrage of what normal Western democratic citizens would feel if they found out that Islam is literally propaganding pedophilia and these grooming gangs. So the English courts placed a media ban on reporting anything about these grooming gangs. Think about that. The government of Britain are not denying that these animals and grooming gangs exist. They are in the courts, after all, going through trial. But they are banning any media and even citizens from reporting on this. They know that if the truth about these grooming gangs and their connection and adherence to Islam, these citizens would be against them And all of the work and the billions of dollars that these globalists have spent over the past decades brainwashing their useful idiots would be wasted. Because it only takes one truth to seek through to one of these useful idiots before they start questioning everything. And once the useful idiots start questioning and then start critically thinking, all of the globalist lies fall apart. That is what's happening right now here in America. That is what the red pill is. And once someone takes the red pill, they never go back to being brainwashed. Think about this. Tommy Robinson was reporting on a criminal case on Muslim gangs, grooming gangs, in the UK. He was arrested, brought in front of a judge, and sentenced to 13 months in prison within an hour. No matter how far left and brainwashed you are, how can that not seem odd in a supposedly Western democratic free country? Shame on England, and shame on the British government. And to all of my American brothers and sisters out there, the left are trying to bring this to America. And it is obvious if you just look at their behavior over the last 2 years. They decry any speech that they disagree with as hate speech. It doesn't matter if it's fact or true. A perfect example is what I just said before. Mohammed is a lying, thieving, murdering, pedophile, rapist. Those are historical facts. But those on the left would certainly call that hate speech and want to shut me down and refuse me my First Amendment right from saying that. Wake up, America. England and most of Europe has already been lost to the globalists who are going to try and continue to institute this murderous cult. And Canada even too. That's on its way. They almost got us here in America, and they are still fighting for the survival right now. It is time to break the brainwashing and wake up before it is too late. One of the most pathetic things that I have heard over the last few years, and one that came from somebody who I used to respect and truly love, when we would discuss the globalist threat that was coming to America, his reply was that America has already lost, and we should just give in to the globalists. This, knowing that it would fundamentally change America. He didn't care about that. And unfortunately, that is the view on many for the left. And it is very dangerous to us all. Please, to all Americans, wake up. This is creeping here now. What happened to Tommy Robinson is coming to America, unless the America First movement continues to fight it. And thank God for Donald Trump and the America First movement. We are America's defenders. We are the ones willing to fight this.